Hello, I'm CR Caldwell. In this video, we'll learn how to use Midjourney AI to create artwork that you can use for print on demand, especially for your t-shirts. I will show you how to set up Midjourney, and I will show you how to create a t-shirt design in a general overview. So let's get started. If you just Google Midjourney, you can go to the website and you can sign up, sign in, join the beta. And then after you do that, you will get an invite to the Discord server. So if you don't have Discord, just Google Discord and sign up for it, because you will really need Discord if you want to use Midjourney. And Discord is just a platform that people use to chat with each other when they're playing video games or for business or whatever. So you can have voice channels and chat channels and do a lot more. But in this case, we're using the AI bot to generate artwork, and we're essentially chatting with the bot using Discord. And so once we are in this Midjourney Discord server, which we'll see with this little shark fin, go down to the Midjourney bot, which will be over on the right hand side, and then right click it and then go to the profile and see it has add to server here. This is what you will probably want to do. So you'll want to create your own server and then add it to your own server. If you already have a Discord server, that's great. And keeping that in mind, you can of course just go to one of these newbie channels, for example, which is a public channel, and then start creating artwork in there. That's no problem. A lot of people do that, but of course anyone can see your artwork then, so it's good maybe to get ideas, but if you're going to be selling it on print on demand, that might not be what you want to do. You might want to have a private channel on your own server. So I do have my own server that I've used, and so I've already generated some artwork. These are just some simple, very simple prompts that I've added. There's a lot more to that we can get into in a future video about using prompts and text weights and blending images and things like that. But in terms of creating your first really nice piece of artwork, just think of a phrase that describes it, and you can tweak this. You can put commas in between the elements of the phrase, like for example describing it and then the style of the artwork, and then whether it's for a t-shirt design or you want something that's black and white or muted colors or digital art style, really whatever you want. These are not like optimal keywords that I'm using here. And then when you have the artwork that you want, what you'll find is you'll have the option to upscale it. So I've gone through just a couple of these. U1, 2, 3, 4 represents the 1, 2, 3, and 4 fourth image, and so you can create variations. So say you want something that looks like this, but just a little different. You would go V4 to create variations of 4. But say we like one of these already, go to the U 1, 2, 3, 4 representing 1, 2, 3, 4, and that will upscale the image. That means it will give you a higher resolution image, and you need that because you don't want to have a grainy or blurry or you know, a non-optimal image for your t-shirt. It just won't look very good. So when you go to upscale that, we get something like this. It picks one and then we can upscale it. We can still make variations or touch it up a little bit, right? Let's just scroll down. You can tell it if you like it, help educate the bot about how it's doing. And once you have an image that you like, there's a lot of detail that we can get into in future episodes about how to tweak these things with the prompts and with some of the commands as well, and things like text weights especially. But these terms might not mean anything to you right now, and that's totally fine. The main thing is to get an image that you're kind of happy with or that you want to experiment with putting on a shirt. So click that image that you have now, and you've got an image. Don't right click and save it yet. Go to the bottom left hand corner and open in the browser. And now you can right click and you can save the image to your desktop or to a folder that you have with your t-shirt art or your print on demand artwork. You know, if you're going to put it on posters or like whatever kind of products you're selling, mugs, who knows what, right? And then after you've done that, you will want to have it ready in the correct size. So what I would recommend doing is, if you use Photoshop, you can just open it in Photoshop, make sure it's on the right size canvas, and remove the background or touch up the photo. A lot of us don't have Photoshop, and maybe that's a little bit intimidating to you. So one option is to use Canva, and Canva is just a free program, but if you do have the premium trial or the premium membership, then you can remove backgrounds as well. So if we drag this photo in here and we resize it to just generally fit on here, well, now we'll see like it doesn't fit. This size canvas that I have here is the default size for a t-shirt on Merch by Amazon or Amazon Print on Demand. So we need to remove this black background so that we can actually use it, perhaps touch it up a little bit. So if you take this image here and go to edit image, and if you have the premium trial, I'm not paying for this, I just have the trial, but it may be very good for you to subscribe to it as well if you're going to be doing background removing a lot. And there are a lot of other features, but I'm not really here to go over all the Canva features, mainly just to show you the background removal and to resize something onto a t-shirt size canvas that we can download and then use for a print-on-demand product like a t-shirt. So let's click on this. It's going to think for a moment. And look at that. So as you can see, it's done a pretty good job already, but you'll probably need to touch up. So you can adjust the brush size, and then we'll want to erase just some of the things. Usually you might want to keep that little heart there, but you might not want to, depending on what you're using it for, right? And then you can make the brush size smaller. You can use your just best judgment just to get all these little details here. You can zoom in and stuff like that, but you know, when I started doing this type of thing in Photoshop, I would find one of the things that would bother me would be little specks of details that I would miss. So I like to zoom in like this, because depending on the color of the shirt that you put it on, it can be really annoying to have little specks like that. And then you may get a return of your product as well. If something's on like maybe a white or a pink shirt and they see a little speck, some people are particular about that. That looks pretty good. So just, you know, take a close look. You can zoom in and just look around, right? And when you're happy with it, click done. And you're basically done most of this process. I would recommend increasing the size to whatever size you want. And then you can add text here if you want to have like a message on here or other elements. Go for it. Really, we're just showing you like the Midjourney kind of part of it, but a lot of people would, you know, want to have some you know, some text on there, whatever you want, right? But after you're done that, then all you need to do is get this file that you can upload to your print-on-demand platform like Redbubble or Amazon. So we go click the share button, and now we can click download. Make sure you click the transparent background. You've got to do this, because if you don't do that, it'll show up as a big white rectangle on the artwork, which might be fine for a white t-shirt, but it's not going to work for a black t-shirt, or it will look, you know, really amateurish usually. It's usually not what you want. So transparent background is almost always a must, and then you're going to have to wait a minute for this to download. And of course, give it a good name if you want. There's a little name spot right there, which I didn't do, but after this downloads, go to whatever platform you want to use to upload the artwork. And that could be Amazon for Merch by Amazon. It could be Redbubble or TeePublic or Zazzle or Etsy. You might want to add all sorts of products to Etsy. And there are many, many more that I've used, Society6 and Designed by Humans, and a lot of other ones that are quite small, but still it could occasionally get you a sale. So a lot of people who've been doing print on demand for a while might use a dozen platforms, but might really depend on things like Etsy, Amazon, and Redbubble and maybe something like Spreadshirt and Teespring to bring in the bulk of their business. Of course, a lot of people will use a Shopify store. These are all things for other videos though. The main thing I want to focus on is getting the artwork that we've already created, that we're finished creating, onto some platform that we want to sell the t-shirt on, or whatever product you want it to be. So if we go to Merch on Demand, Amazon Merch on Demand, which was called Merch by Amazon for the first, I don't know, 6 or 7 years almost of its existence, something like that. We can drag and drop the artwork that we've just created into here. Of course, if you don't have an account on Amazon Merch on Demand yet, then you could just upload this to Redbubble or Teespring or your own Shopify store, Etsy, you know, whatever you want. And then all we'd have to do is pick the color that we want this to be on. You know, if we want to do a black t-shirt like that. I think that looks pretty good. You could do it on the front or the back. Usually the front is the most popular. Set the price, talk about it, use the description. Maybe in another video we'll talk about using AI to create descriptions, and then you'd submit it. I'm not submitting this right now because I'm not doing a gnome design right now, but I think something like that could be popular. If you do want to think of concepts and designs and niches and stuff, you may want to use something like Merch Informer, which is one of the tools that I use for looking at kind of designs and how my competitors are selling. So I usually don't get all of my niches and things like that from here, and a lot of the good designs that you will see at with the very high bestsellers rank will be branded merchandise that we can't even use anyways. But things like this, I'm not old, I'm a classic. Of course, you could do something like that and just use Midjourney to, you know, a classic car, classic train, classic sewing machine. There's a good niche for you guys if you're watching this. Do a classic sewing machine. I'm not old, I'm a classic, right? I bet you that will sell. So anything like that, and then, you know, just go through this. We're just using the trend tracker on here. A lot of these are branded, we can't use them, but you can type in a niche that you're thinking about. You could use Google Trends as well to see what is popular as well at that time. And you can see when something is selling well, it could be a good idea, and you could use AI to reinterpret something that is not trademarked and create your own version of that that is totally different from what someone has done, and probably better if you're using careful AI prompts, and, you know, something like a Pluto shirt or something like that you could do that's not trademarked, right? And there are just endless examples. Don't touch anything like, you know, Star Wars or Dr. Seuss or TV shows, anything like that. So I do always do a trademark shirt check, like on any of the keywords or niches or anything like that, before I get too far in using that concept, idea, niche, whatever it is. So that's really all I wanted to show you guys. With kind of that amount of information, you can create a AI generated piece of art on your own Discord server and upload it to a print on demand platform and start selling it. So at this point, I would say fire some questions off to me, subscribe, hit notifications. I'll have follow-up videos to this, and that will be really helpful. This is a new channel, but I've made this kind of a special new channel that's just going to be for print on demand stuff. And if you guys ask me questions, I will do videos on some of those things as well, and answer pretty much any questions that you guys ask me about this, because I know it may seem overwhelming, but just be systematic, step by step, learn one little thing at a time, and don't let the info overload stop you from uploading your first shirt. So thank you for watching today, guys. I've got lots more in store for you, and good luck testing out AI. As a final caution, I would say, you know, I'm not endorsing that you have all of your designs, done with AI tools and stuff like that, nor that every platform will even allow it, because it is kind of a gray area right now, what will happen with the concept of AI and whether it will always be permitted on different platforms. So do your own research on that and keep your eyes out for what's going to happen. This is still the wild, wild west right now for AI artwork. So a lot's going to change. This is just the beginning. Thanks again, guys. Good luck.